See 'em. It's an interesting title, a collection of poetry from the streets to the garden. Basically, I lived in Hoboken, New Jersey, and I lived in New Brunswick, New Jersey, two cities, and I used to sit on the stoop, on the steps, and I used to do a lot of my poetry in my late 20s and into my 30s. Those who know me know that that was a very interesting time in my life. A lot of interesting things happened, so that's when I started chronicling a lot of what happened in my life. And that's basically why I put this book together. The other part of it was the garden, so from the streets to the garden, because I was able to move myself from the streets into a garden when I moved into a house and was able to write in my own garden. So it was a little bit of a change, a juxtaposition there. So that was an important part of my life too. So with that being said, a lot of my work does involve nature. It's a kind of a synthesis between the life around us, the world around us, or the world around me, and nature. My first work is called Full Circle, and this one is about apologies, being apologetic, the mistakes that we've made, and coming to grips with some of those mistakes. So it's Full Circle. Icy moon basks its light bright onto frosted ground. Empty, harsh, cold winter's bite. Thistle wait without a sound. Scarce berries for magpies found, as elk parade with all their might. I buried beneath icy cold mound of contrition, void of foresight. Majestic purple opus of western sky, upon canvas of powdery presence. Towering green pierces into dusk. Magnificent pole streaks up so high, hovering over its seasonal residence. Liquid ice rushes, reaching the river soon, as fawns sip its crystalline clear drops. Heaven in an icy hell, as I make foolish footsteps in dangerous crops, under the light of that icy moon. The next one is called An Unwanted Guest. I'm sure we've all had unwanted guests in our house.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a very interesting unwanted guest. I wrote this out of anger. The unwanted guest is basically Superstorm Sandy. So it's about what, I wrote this about what it did to people, what it did to us, especially here at the shore, what it has done to the landscape of New Jersey, the tri-state region, and all the people, obviously. So it's a story about a guest, us, actually the guest being the superstorm, and us as the host experiencing the storm. Southern visitor, damp, cold, full of bluster, travels slow and yet very fast. The hosts bring nourishment, hope, and prayers, just about all they can muster. Knocking lightly as doors close tightly, gray shrouds oh so deep, violet tapestry now gone. Fingers of oak dance against darkened domain. The sun sings its own song of refrain. Leaves like paper thrown as calm begins to wane. Untimely, not lacking fanfare. Turning, churning, whitecaps unwelcome her as the bountiful birch goes bare. Forcefully entering like waves smashing the bough, now she is here bringing her fear. Sharp turn west, unprecedented. They leave now, away they fly. Departure at her behest. Gusts grow faster as charcoal lights get dimmer. Cold blows colder. Massive, majestic maples suddenly shimmer as the waves stretch to meet her amber-strewn timber. This world gets quiet, quiet except for the whistle of demons' wings, screeching where oceans of fire meet movable mass. Cities and havens push as her strength persists, unstoppable, not by the gold of 1 trillion kings. Torrents of phenomenal fury as gale and gust pummel ocean's sandy coast. The strength of her visit gives her much to boast. Electrical currents snapped, sizzled, and sunken, wonderment as to why they had been chosen. Wicked lashing by this unwanted guest, land swallowed by her, like the wood taken up by the flame. All in her way, put to the test. Winds break down barriers, breaches start gushing. Dreams hardly afloat as nightmares keep rushing. Dawn reveals her rosy fingers, trapped behind billows of darkness. Roar of the line mellows to a breeze, as sadness throughout the shore lingers, wood piles strewn all about, cries of calamity carried throughout cities and towns. Light shows the gift left by the guest as she departs, headed northwest. As the guest leaves blackness and ruin in her wake, sounds of sympathy return on wings of the gull. People rise as high as the surge that overflowed the edge of its lake. Crowds and community gathered together like bees to create nectar of needed nourishment. She forgot one thing, the host's will to fight. And when the sky clears once again, there will be light. My next one is called Annona. Annona is the Roman goddess of autumn. And this is about the end of summer and the beginning of fall. Kind of what I consider, what I call that magical period between fall and summer where the fruit is really good and the sun is starting to get a little bit hazy and the night is a little bit colder. So it's kind of that really interesting period of time. Oh, silent summer's end, silence upon sands of amber gold. Gardens of abundant color, no longer to tend. Whispering wind, eve's presence of cold. September's song, music of change, as northwest winds push bright blue sky forward. Desolate harvest, sparsely filled grange, pristine purple dusk, canvas now lowered. Stalk severed field littered the plot, sprinkles of frost upon sunny orange hue. Deer scattered upon hunter's first shot, seasons repeat each year anew. Autumn enters as cool breezes dwell, summer solstice, my love, as we bid farewell. My next piece is called Veil of Ice. This is about sadness. It's about loss I experienced. It goes hand in hand with winter being here, longing for spring. The hillside beckons its warmth through unkind dismay. Chill grips frozen fingers tightly through winter storms' disarray. Morning Venus call, shining wondrous in the east. Atop hills so gently powdered, grazing in the fields stand the beast. Trees so tall, encased in ice, they stand so bold. The robin sings to entice, waiting for spring to unfold. The river ceases its jovial trip, smooth as marble as ice increases, as winter's wind continues to whip. Lifeless tears frozen, unmoving veil of crystal drops. Twilight's violet is now chosen, once filled stand barren crops. Clouds darken this season, at quite the cost, made darker with reason, for winter's cold has created great loss. My next one is about time, something that we all don't have enough of, and something that always wins against us. So this is about fighting time. It's also about facing fear. It's about overcoming both time and fear, winning a battle. It's about happiness at the end. It's called Winds of Time. Cold wind ices, warm breezes calm, while clocks twist and turn. No end, no beginning, time marches on, yet you reap what you learn. Time teaches with chances to heal, yet not without absence. Time heals what yields the spin of fate's wheel, indifferent to what happens. Days, months, nearly a decade of finding courage to face fear. Fears crumble and fade, resolution oh so near. And time becomes friend and no longer foe. Wheels of fortune stop and bless with grace. The poet stops his song of woe as he keeps that wheel steady in place. Fortune and fate, that warm breeze still blows, a darkness lifted as time always flows. My next piece is about not releasing your feelings and holding back. It's called Cold Currents. Candle flickers, burning bright, yet so alone. Golden light, peaceful shadows hardly shown. Sun arise as darkness fades into day. Clouds break through cobalt skies, yet barren hills still they lay. River flows with waves so steady. Towering trees stand empty, bare of fruit. Clouds gather, tears from above, nearly ready, as the starlings refrain, their song now mute. Alone in waters I find that I row, paddling through currents I cannot let go. And finally, a little bit different. This one is called Final Pint. This is about our time in a cozy pub, a descriptive little tale of bar life. Darkness and laughter bountiful, a dusty dank bar, cornered between a number and main, close yet so very far. Oak, mirrors, tin and ceiling, and stench. Clink, clank, tenor of glass. Cacophonous volume waxes and wanes. Fingerprints print sweat upon polished brass. Pints flow down throats from colorful advertorial taps. Flat screens viewed by the woozy, wild, happy, and sad in colorful caps. Lonely get lonesome, shots echo the solace. The happy drink happier, the night not to miss. The clock turns the hour late, crowds swelling, stuffing the tavern. Patrons deep in their cups, as deep as a cavern. Closing time, 3 a.m., pub empties out on number and main. Night for happy and sad to remember all the pleasure and pain. I want to thank you all very much.